Hey guys, welcome to another one of our reviews. I'm Worm, and this is the Proton. Today we're going to be reviewing a rebuildable atomizer. We've done the official one. This is a clone from AngelCigs.com.
Indeed, what we're doing today guys is the Kayfun Lite style clone rebuildable atomizer from AngelCigs.com. Box does say Lite Plus. It's not a Lite Plus, it's just a Lite. I'm guessing I've already explained it in the close-up possibly.
Yeah.
Wasn't here for it, so I don't know. Price $19.99 American. That is not Great British pounds, so obviously it's a lot cheaper than that. It's about 13-14 quid. Now, if I remember rightly, these have got free shipping and they've got warehouses all over the world, so your dispatches are quite quick. Didn't take long for our stuff to come through.
They've definitely got one in America and definitely one over in China. So
there you go. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Kayfun Lite style rebuildable atomizer. Awesome source. Obviously, we both have real Kayfun, so this will be a good comparison.
We did want to just point out on their site, don't know if it's on every device they do, but on this device initially anyway, it's got price breaks on it. And we've got out of focus. There we go, we're back in focus. They do price breaks, and basically the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. I mean, I'm just going to tell you the lowest one, but if you buy 20 of them, it goes down to $16.99 per unit. So if you've got a few friends that want one or are interested, a little group buy up and that, happy days.
There you go. Other than that, to be honest with you, the specs are Kayfun specs, 22mm AE, 4.5mm capacity. The parts interchangeable there, aren't they? You tried my tank on there.
Yeah. Yeah,
there you go. So the parts interchangeable, as a 1-1 clone should be.
Yeah, because when we originally got this through, I went through it and couldn't find the clear tank. It was actually hidden on the top cap of the actual juice bottle you get with it for filling up. Didn't see it when I went through it, but you know, I was in a rush, so I nicked his clear one that he doesn't use anymore. So they are interchangeable.
There you go. So interchangeable with the real Kayfun. And for a touch over, sort of 13 quid, so that's awesome sauce. I think what we'll do is put the close up in here, and then we'll come back up to us and have a flat again.
Right then guys, this is the up close of the Kayfun Lite. It was meant to be Plus they was meant to be sending us, but they sent us just the Lite version. But this is the box it comes in, very nice. If you take that home, you get a nice little instruction manual, which I'm pointing out for this single reason. In the back of this, you do get like little ohms reading, kind of what you should be running at, kind of graph there, and also there's some very nice display images in this one as well, and it also shows you, there it is, how you should be coiling this. So you can see the coil and obviously the purple tubing shows you where you should put your wick if you're using whatever kind of wicking material you're kind of using really. I mean, we use cotton, but I mean, I think that's more for like the silica sort of design, because when we use cotton, we kind of just brush it out everywhere, so it's just kind of packed down there with cotton, which seems to give you more juice retention, which is better for the core in all. But you get two little boxes like this inside. I mean, one's got the Kayfun in with and a few spares, and then you've got another one which comes with the juice bottle and comes with the spare tank in. But I'm not going to open them there because I've already got them out, because I don't like to try and open a box on camera, because sometimes generally for us they get stuck. But this is your little refill bottle with a little bit of silica in. You also get a nice little bit of silica there. I think, yeah, that's already got a coil on it, so that's ready to go, that coil. You got a few O-rings in there and a couple of screws. Well, you got one screw for the base for your fill hole, and a couple for your posts for your positive or negative, whichever one you damage or you lose. Obviously the clear tank comes separately from it, and obviously your Kayfun unit itself. The weight of it is actually quite heavy. I mean, it's not like previous clones we've tried where it's kind of light and nothing like no real kind of weight to it. This one's actually quite heavy. Kind of downside that I've already found with this one is that the drip tip in this is extremely loose. I mean, it's not so much at the moment because I've just cleaned it and there's no e-liquid in there, but as soon as that e-liquid comes in, I literally, when you, I don't know, waving your kind of e-cig around, that thing flies out. So bigger O-ring on that would have been lovely, but other than that, it's kind of only the downfall so far. But top section, kind of how you expect. Top tube, middle tube section, which is replaceable with obviously your plastic one, both there, and your bottom tube section. Also your deck and the internal tubing and top hat, as we call it. Top hat doesn't feel like stainless, to be honest. It feels more like chrome plated, but you know, is what it is. I mean, that's definitely stainless, that's definitely stainless, and that's stainless as well. This tube section, also stainless. It's just this top hat seems to be chrome plated. It's just the way on the threads, it's too light. It doesn't feel proper, if that's what I'm saying. But apparently it is stainless. It says that's what it says anyway. So, but it just doesn't feel stainless. Maybe it's just thinner on this actual top cap than the actual original. But yeah, there's that, and so you got your deck in here, as you would expect to see it. 2 posts, big old block for the positive, little single post for your negative, and plenty of space to put cotton down, or whichever kind of material you're going to use. So obviously you put your coil over the top of the hole, drop your wick down around the side, or if you do with cotton, push it up and put the top out, the first tubing section on, screw it down, poke your cotton in, and that's ready to go, sort of thing. Put it back together, fill it with V-liquid, and pretty much fill it up. I mean, the base got a little bit of design on there from the actual proper Kayfun, made in Russia, I believe. Yeah, made in Russia. Designed in Russia, made in Germany. Sorry, got it the wrong way around. Obviously your fill hole, and obviously your air hole. I mean, the air hole on this does look a little bit tighter. I mean, it is slightly, but after using it for about a week now, there's no major difference. I mean, there's a slight tighter draw, but it's not uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So it's very close to the actual original Kayfun. The other problem I had, other than the drip tip with this, is these screws. These screws do not like to trap anything bigger than 0.37, and even 0.37 is a little bit tricky to get under there. I mean, you've got to really pull it tight, bring it all the way around, like kind of double overlap it itself, and then tighten it on so it grips itself kind of in a way. But you know, I mean, I can live with it. I mean, I kind of just I've been using this as kind of like my spare, kind of like put my alternative juice that I'd rather have in a Kayfun sort of thing. So I've been using both Kayfuns, both vape and perform the same, to be honest. I mean, the builders are definitely harder in this one because of the screws, and the build quality is obviously not Kayfun, you know, standard. But you know, you're paying a lot less for this Kayfun. So I mean, is the vape the same? Yes. Is the build a little bit more of a pain? Yes, it is. But you know, if you're paying like a third of the price, you expect to put a little bit more work into it, is the way we feel. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the Kayfun. I mean, there's no real difference to this. It's just a Kayfun. There's all your bits. I mean, it's nice that you get a juice bottle with this one, but you know, whatever. I mean, it's very nice. I'm going to re-wick this off camera because I'm not doing it on camera. I mean, like I said, it's a pain in the ass to get these wires trapped under, and I have no doubt that trying to do it on camera is going to be an extreme pain. So yeah, I'm going to re-wick this, and we'll come back to us, and we'll have a monumental flap. Alright guys, that was the close-up of the Kayfun from AngelCigs.com. Sorry about the lighting change. We had a technical issue, didn't save the file, so it's now night time. So the lighting's going to be a little bit different from the beginning of the video. But, you know, that's how it goes.
You won't be able to see us, all of our spontabulousness.
But yeah, anyway, the problems with the Kayfun, I'm just going to reiterate, because I went into it briefly over the close-up. The drip tip, I've currently got my drip tip in there. It doesn't wibble around. It still pulls out just as easy, but it doesn't fall out. So I mean, nothing, you see. So it grips it just a little bit more, so you might want to use your own drip tip if you buy one. But other than that, I mean, you typically don't use really low res wires in the Kayfun, but for those people that do like to have like really low builds in the Kayfun, you're not going to get bigger than a 0.37 wire in you, unfortunately. It's just, unless you replace those screws or mod it a little bit yourself, you know, it kind of is what it is. But for, sorry, just had a salad. For $19.99, which is about 15 quid, you can't really moan at a little bit of tinkering, can you?
No! Right, where are we? Yeah, as William said, you know, 15 quid delivered. It's yeah, it's good stuff. This isn't even, is it? The only real difference we notice between this and an actual K, or our K lights, is the air hole's fractionally smaller on this, which we believe is because they probably cloned the Lite Plus and then just left out the airflow control. And the chamfer's not quite as big, and again that could be down to the Lite Plus and not the Lite. But it is a light style, so you haven't got the airflow control, which to be honest you don't need. Maybe not need anyway. Yeah, so what we'll do, if we jump straight into a 5-point hitter, and I'm
just
sure
before we do the
any flap we do when we come across them.
I did want to say the One Plus compared to the proper Kayfun Lite is that the wells that you actually tuck the wicks into is actually slightly bigger on this. I mean, I haven't measured it exactly, but it could be the deck inside is smaller where you actually tie your wires to, you know, the big block and the side bit. But you actually got a little bit more space to put a little bit more cotton in there, or silica, so you get a little bit more room for error. Because we noticed before when we first bought our Kayfuns, we was on silica then. occasionally silica would get stuck down the holes in that. You have to be very careful about where you place your silica. Whereas in this, there's ample space in there. I mean, I put probably a third extra cotton in this compared to my proper Kayfun. I mean, they both work the same, they both taste the same, but I just wanted to point it out. You can get more in there, so there's a little bit more juice retention actually inside the build.
There you go. Right, so guys, as I say, 5-point hit list, so we'll go for it as we usually would. And yeah, point out anything that we think of along the way. So, looks first of all from the worm.
Looks, I mean, it's slightly different to the proper Kayfun. There's a couple of edges that aren't exactly in line. I mean, this is a little bit more square to the proper Kayfun, where it's got like some slanted edges on the side, and on the air hole as well. It's kind of just flat to the body. So, I mean, it looks as good as Kayfun, but not quite as good as the Kayfun, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to give it a 9 for looks.
Looks for me, I mean, at a glance you wouldn't notice, to be honest with you. It's only when you get up close and personal with it you can really tell that it's not a genuine Kayfun. So as far as clones go, you know, it's pretty spot on. Brush look looks good, 22mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give it a 10. I think the Kayfun's a good looking tank and it looks good on a lot of different things. On an MVP even, you know, it looks right. It does the job. And also, yeah, for me, looks is a 10.
Yeah, usability. It's got the same usability as a proper Kayfun. All the same pieces, nothing extra, all roughly the same sort of size and diameter. Nothing's going to fall down in your plug hole or anything. So
they're comparable. They actually, you can, you know, cross them. You know,
yeah, I've used
like.
his official Kayfun tank on this and no problems. I mean, there was a slight bit of bulkiness on the edge where the Kayfun has got slight kind of bulges on the tank, whereas this one's kind of more kind of in line. But you know, kind of it's not meant for the light of the clone, and not the same way the clone's not meant for the official one. So you kind of just got to weigh that up. But maintenance of this is not hard to maintain at all. There's usability is not really any different to a Kayfun. It's put your wick in, coil it, and you're done. You know, so there's nothing really to it. I mean, screw it all together and fill it. I'm going to give it a 10.
Usability compared to a Kayfun, which is what it's cloning, yeah, it's a 10. Yeah, I mean, with exception of the screws, you know, not being able to get anything bigger than 0.37, but you know, again, it's the second time I recorded this, not over the first time. I don't really use anything bigger than 0.37 in mine at the minute, so it's just if you do, bear it in mind. Also, if you're a fan of dual coiling the Kayfun, that build might not be as much of an option for you because you can't get as much under them screws, and the drip tip obviously is a little bit wibbly. But other than that, I mean, perfectly usable. Rewicking it is basically exactly the same as rewicking a Kayfun. Filling it with juice is the same. Everything is spot on with it. So give it a 10 for a Kayfun. If you're used to using one, it's going to be exactly the same. If you're coming onto buildables, there's a lot worse places you can start. So yeah, definitely I'm going to give it a
10. Maintenance, which I was going over halfway through a minute ago. Cleaning it is no harder than an official Kayfun. Same pieces like we said. None of it's going to fall down the sinkhole. I mean, that drip tip is a little bit hard to maintain because I've had it in my pocket a few times and the drip tip's not there no more. Luckily it's been in my pocket every time, but you know, there's always that off chance you could lose it. So you may want to put another O-ring on there just to stiffen it up a little bit, or use your own drip tip, but you know, that's down to each user. But other than that, there's nothing really major that you're going to maintain. I mean, none of the O-rings really get damaged, they're all in the right places. There's no threading around the O-rings, they're just kind of like got a flush bit of metal that kind of sits on it, then the screw threading's above it. It's got to be for new people, it's going to be like an 8 or 9 to maintain, depending on how comfortable you are. For people that are happy with Kayfuns, it's going to be a 10 all day long. It's easy.
Maintenance. There's a fair few parts, but nothing. You've got to take these marks with a pinch of salt because, you know, going back a year would have been like, maintenance is like a 6. But you know, as you get used to using this stuff, your viewpoint on things changes. So for us, maintaining it's a 10. If you're moving off of something far more simplistic like a clear tank glass and something like that, then it is more, you know, to wash out. There's more to lose. There's more to know. But I mean, I'm going to give the maintenance compared to a Kayfun a 10. For the average user, I'm still going to give it high. It's going to be a 9. So yeah, maintenance is high on maintenance, I think.
Build quality and price. Price, it's $19. We haven't gone over it yet, but like you can do price breaks on this site. I mean, we don't have to do it on every product because we haven't been for every product. It would take about an hour or so to go through every product.
On the few that we have reviewed though. So.
Yeah, on the few we've reviewed, they do price breaks on all of them. So I mean, there's quite a few variants of it, but one of them is $19.99. If you buy, I think it's up to $5. I think it was. Let me just check it out.
It was $19.49 if you buy up to 5, I think.
Sorry if you got my back.
And his arse.
It was
3.
3 for 1950. 6 is it next? 6
yeah.
for 18.99 and 10 for 17.99 and 20 for 16.99 per item. Obviously, you have to order 20 of them.
So that's 3, 6, 11, and 16.
And that's in dollars as well. So if you can get 19 people, the price is going to come down even more, which is epic. It's got to be it's 10 for buying one. It's 10 star if you're buying any more than one, because the price just goes down, which is thumbs up. So yeah, but build quality, it's not as good as the Kayfun. It's not. It doesn't touch it. Is it better than other clones out there we've tried of the Kayfuns, 3.1s and all that? Yes, it is actually better. The stainless steel body in that actually feels like a thick stainless steel body. The central tube for the build inside feels like stainless steel. The top hat, I have my doubts on, but they say it's stainless steel, so you know I can have my doubts. It's my personal view. I mean, to be honest, it looks like it's been chromed, chrome plating or some sort, but you know, the rest of it being stainless steel for $19.99, 15 quid to your door, and if you're buying 20 of them, 11 quid to your door. How can you moan at that sort of price? I mean, the build quality is phenomenal for its price, so I'm going to give it a 10 for its price. In the grand scheme of things, is it a good Kayfun? No, but it's still on a 9.
Build quality and price. Build quality, first of all, when we first got this, you know, took out the packet and we thought, you know, that's a good build quality, you know. The tube sections are fine. The tank's polycarbonate like it is a real, you know, real genuine stainless steel Kayfun. Build quality itself, I'm going to give a 9 to. Okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this build quality. Build quality versus price, I'm going to give a 10 easily, because it is well worth its money, and the price itself in general, you know, sort of 13-14 quid for a Kayfun Lite clone. It's definitely worth that money. I mean, as William said, it's not a Kayfun, and it's not as good as owning a Kayfun. You know, it doesn't feel quite the same and whatever else. But a Kayfun is 5 times the price, and it isn't built 5 times better in my opinion. You know, it's built better, yes, but it's not 5 times better. So yeah, I'm definitely giving it a 10 for build quality / price, and you know the marks each in there as well. Flavour and vapour, I suppose we'll do flavour and vapour.
Yeah, I mean, the flavour and vapour of it, the amount of vapour is obviously going to depend on your build and your juice. If you're going really low resistance and you've got a VG juice, you can get a lot more vapour than you do with a high VG and a higher ohm, depending on what voltage you put through it. So that's going to depend, but on par with if you're using the same builds in both Kayfuns, it's just a touch behind, but we're talking because of the airflow here. The airflow is slightly less, you can get slightly less vapour. It's kind of how you expect, but if they were both on the same airflow, spot on, exactly the same. Flavour, no difference, none whatsoever.
You done with that?
Yeah, I don't need to give them light, it's a 10, isn't it?
Flavour and vapour, I'm not going to go into it. For once, I'm not going to bother, I'm just going to say Kayfun vape. Alright, it is a Kayfun vape. If I pick up this, which is my legitimate, and I pick up this, which is the clone, I couldn't tell from vape alone which is which, apart from the fact that that draw is very fractionally tighter. Other than that, the flavour's there, the throat hit's there, the vapour's there, it's all there. So yeah, it's a Kayfun vape for 14 quid. So that's my 10, obviously, for both. I'll give a mark anyway. Overall,
yeah. Overall, would I recommend this? Yes, I would. I mean, yes, you've got a slight niggle with the screws, you can't use bigger than 0.37, and you've got a wonky drip tip in there. It may just be that this one's wonky, you know?
It's not wonky, it just decides to commit suicide.
you could lose it at any point. It may just be this one. I mean, we don't know. Has anyone else got one out there? Put a little comment down below if yours isn't like that. Because if it is just mine, then happy days. But you definitely can't get more than 0.37 in there with these screws. Not without a great, tremendous amount of struggle. Anyway, what else can you say about it? It's a bargain. I would recommend this if you was buying one. If you've got a few mates that want to buy them and you're going to buy with the price breaks, lovely, even better. If you can get one of these, get 19 friends on the go, or even if you want 2 or 3 of them for yourself and get like 16 friends on the go, you're paying 11 quid per Kayfun. This to me would be, I would buy one of these for when I go out drinking, because then I'm getting a banging vape, and if I lose it, I don't care, I've lost 11 quid. Happy days.
There you go, that's Williams overall. I mean, would I recommend this? Fuck yeah, I'd recommend this. No two ways about it. For a touch over 13 quid, yeah, no problem recommending this whatsoever. I mean, a Kayfun is one atomizer that I will stand in the corner with the elitists and say for this particular atomizer there's nothing like owning a genuine article, but on vape alone that matches it side by side, no problem whatsoever. You know, you still, it's not quite the same as owning it, but you're 95% there, and at a fraction of the cost. So we'd definitely recommend this. And as Worm said, you know, perfect if you're a Kayfun lover, but you're also a beer lover. If you're anything like me, you know, you come back and your Kayfun's ruined. I can't even go to the car without throwing it across the street. So yeah, my Kayfun's been through the wars. And yeah, for that purpose, you know, if you wanted to take care of your real one and something for the pub, then spot on. If not, if your budget just won't allow for a real Kayfun, you won't be dissatisfied with this, and you'll know exactly what the vape is like from one, you know, so definitely recommend it. There's a couple of little bits and bobs just to hash over very quickly. One thing I did say in the first recording of this is that the price of this is very low, and so Mesto's would be considered sort of mid-range to high. But I've got to say the packaging on this is actually better than what you get from Mesto. Mesto you get a little box that's just big enough to fit the Kayfun in, and some spares in a bag chucked in there. In this, Worm showed you in the close-up, you've got proper instructions. Fucking Mesto don't include that. Granted, some of them are in Russian, but they're there.
Half of it is in Russian.
Yeah, half is in Russian, but it's there, and that's the important thing. You've got a couple of boxes, you've got a refill bottle, you know, you've got every bit and bob that you can need, metal tank, you've got everything, and it comes all of that in a proper box. Now, I know it's about the product, but for me, the first thing you see is the packaging, you know, and if they can do it, so they need to up their game, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, that's one thing, and also as Worm showed you, the box as well, you've got a voltage guide. Now, chances are if you're using a rebuildable, you may not need the voltage guide, but it's there and it's good, you know. So
the fact that they put it in is thumbs up. I mean, rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
In the last 3 months, everything's a step in the right direction, you know. Proper packaging, proper instructions, you know, decent atties at a good price, you know. So yeah, everything's going the way we need it to. I can't remember what else I had. Something else I was going to say. I can't bloody remember what it was. It's gone though. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. We were talking about the value before. Like, you know, for the price of this, you get this Canthol, silica, all cotton and juice for the price of an Aspire Nautilus tank. You know, for me, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, we definitely recommend that you go and check them out. If you want the link, it's underneath us, and it will be, I don't know which one of us is
if you just want to type in, it's up there.
I'm so confused as to who's on what side.
The direct link, you can click it, it'll be down there.
Indeed, so if you want to go to AngelCigs, well, we would definitely recommend having a look at AngelCigs because they've got some good quality gear. They're a lot quicker shipping than Fast Tech, the prices are a little bit more expensive, but, you know, have a look at them because they're well worth a look. Panzerclone you got from them, wasn't it? Yeah, spot on, really was. So far, GS I haven't reviewed yet. GS is coming though, guys. If you want to see the type of GS review, that will be coming up very, very shortly. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if that's something you want to have a look at. But so far, no problems with any device we've had from them whatsoever, and spot on with deliveries as well. So yeah, wicked. I think we're done.
Yep,
done. Right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Mr. Proton. It's been the Worm. Shall see you soon.